Welcome and Merry Christmas. It is just days away from Christmas Eve, and I think I have everything wrapped up except for maybe the presents. I think I need to do that today before I start editing this video. I am so glad to be able to sneak in one more video before Christmas. I wanted to bring to you the projects I've been working on. I have been working on these doll dresses for I think pretty much the month of December, but they kept getting put aside, and for the most part they got delayed because for some reason this month my back has hurt a little bit more than normal, and I couldn't push myself. So I'm pleased to be able to get them done. I had a couple really good days of sewing, and they are now here to show. I wanted to talk a little bit about the fabric that I used, because as a quilter, you know, we always buy 100% cotton fabrics, and we love the Christmas fabrics that come out. But every so often you run into a fabric that is printed with enough ink, paint, whatever you'd want to call it, that you can feel it. And if you put your iron on it and your iron's hot, it will actually melt it. And those fabrics, I find, don't work so well in my quilts. And so when I have bought those beautiful fabrics, I try to find other ways to use them. And I've made pillows out of them. And this year, I used this fabric to make the doll dresses. I wanted them to be alike, but also a little bit different, so that the personalities, I guess, could come out. I mixed and matched. I used up remnants. If you notice, you might be able to see there's a little bit difference in the ruffle. This is a ruffle and this is more of a band. It's because this piece of red was the exact size of the skirt, and so I used it. This one had a little bit of extra, so it has a little ruffle. And this one, in order to make it work, I had to have two pieces, and so it has a lot more ruffle. You make it work and it can turn out beautiful. So that's one of the projects I've been working on. You may notice that Granny Doll and I have matching nightgowns. The difference is her cuffs don't contrast, and she has a ruffle, a really nice ruffle here at the bottom, making her skirt a little bit longer. I have left the ruffle off of mine because, in truth, I tend to roll over the bottom of my muumuus with my office chairs and sewing chairs. And I have torn many a Christmas nightgown in the past. Normally I will make flannel nightgowns. I'll even show a picture over here of one I did a few years ago. I love making the flannel nightgowns. My daughter and I have had matching ones a number of years in a row. And I love wearing them. You can throw them on over the top of a t-shirt and leggings for an extra layer of warmth. You put an apron over them and all of a sudden you have a figure because everything floofs out around the waist. I just enjoy them. They're comfortable. When I don't feel well, they are the perfect thing to put on. But this year I decided I wanted to make a specific for Christmas nightgown. Something that I would pull out at Christmas time, something that Granny Doll and I can wear in our celebration for our Christmas photos. You know, those Christmas morning photos where the family's taking pictures and you're unwrapping presents and you've just rolled out of bed and you haven't taken time to actually do anything with your hair or face. Well, this is my roll out of bed Christmas morning photograph, because when I am standing, I really do look like Granny. There is no figure, there's no lumps, there's no bumps. It's just all poof. And what a perfect way to not stress over what you're wearing for all those Christmas morning photos. I'm dropping stuff here. So that's some of the projects I've been working on. Let me set Granny over here out of the way. In my last video that I got out just before, just a week or so ago, I show that the machine embroidery snowflakes that I have here with the dolls. I did a little bit of explanation of doing ornaments using the embroidery machine. how to take designs that are not meant to be freestanding and turn them into freestanding ornaments. And so I did that in my last video. I have those here. And I did lots and lots and lots, whoops, camera, lots and lots of snowflakes. I finally have my snowflakes up on my curtain behind me so that it looks like it's snowing. But the other thing I wanted to bring up was, if you've been following me, you know that I started these videos back during Tour de Fleece back in January, and then I moved into Tour de Fleece for part 2, I think it was September. But one of the things I was doing was a countdown to Christmas collection of yarns that my children would be able to open up a 50-gram ball of yarn every day from Thanksgiving till New Year's and make granny squares. Well, my daughter has been making them, so my son has too, but he's in Germany. I can't access his. But my daughter's been making them, and she's been attaching to them the tag, because when I dyed the fiber, I took the time to write down what the colors were that I used, and I took the time to number them so that I could trace them through the process. And over the next few weeks, I plan to take a photo of each of her granny squares and go into my Ravelry account, which already shows you the yarn, already shows you the fiber, and match up a photo with the initial dye yarn or dyed fiber, so that anyone who wants to go can take a look at the project and kind of get an idea of what my random dyeing process looks like in finished product. So if you go to my Ravelry, it's Pioneer Lady, and it's in my projects under my stash, my fiber stash, my yarn, and a finished project called Countdown to Christmas Collection. So my daughter has been doing these up for me. My son is working on his. My daughter is making much faster progress because she's not taking classes. She's done with college. My son is still working with college and his full-time job, and therefore he has a little bit crazier of a life. So he's got a few done, she's got many done, and that means I've got to get back to the spinning wheel. I'm hoping to actually have a spinning project up before New Year's, a spinning and knitting project, because there's been something I've been wanting to do for a number of weeks and months now. I have the supplies, I have the fiber ready, and I think it would be the perfect New Year's Eve project. Just give you a hint, it's going to sparkle in a way that is not normal for a knitted hat. There's the teaser. So I've got to get back to my spinning wheel for that, and need to get back to my spinning wheel because shortly she's going to have my daughter's going to have a huge stack of these granny squares, and she's going to be ready to attach them together into an afghan. And that means I finally have to spin up the yarn that she's going to use to attach them. They're all made out of 100% wool. I have been debating as to what color would look really nice to combine these, and I think I'm going to go with a very, very muted light green, and that fiber is sitting right over there waiting for me to spin. So I'm hoping to switch a little, but I haven't been spinning because I have been quilting, and I'm going to try to put a picture here over the penguin of the quilt I've been working on. It will not be finished. It may be finished by the end of the year, but if I start spinning again, it probably won't. Because as the day wears on and my body starts to get tired and their pain becomes an issue, I go sit in my recliner and I put some heat on my back and I quilt. Or I go sit in my rocker and I get the spinning wheel out and I spin. But I can't do both of those in my TV time. And even though I've had a little bit more TV time than I would like, because December has caused me a little bit of pain, I only have so much time in a day. So I will either have a quilt finished or I will have fiber finished by the end of the year. We will see which wins out. A lot depends on how cold it is, how I feel, and how crazy my cats are behaving, which they're right now circling around me like sharks, wanting me to give them treats and threatening to do damage to the tree and everything else around us. So, I probably should wrap this up. Wish you a Merry Christmas. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. But if I have, I'll pop it in the next video. I wish you a blessed holiday season. I hope that if you celebrate Christmas, that it is a joyful one. I hope that if you don't celebrate Christmas, it's a joyful season. I hope the mid-bleakness of winter does not descend upon you, and that instead you feel the light and joy and sparkle that is winter. We've had some of that beautiful winter sparkle this last couple weeks. Not the quantity of snow that they were anticipating or that I was looking forward to. There's the cats, by the way. But certainly the frosty sparkle. It is a joy. Whatever it is you celebrate, whatever brings you joy, I hope that your life is filled with it in these upcoming days, in these upcoming weeks. And I wish you a blessed, blessed holiday season. Thank you for joining me again for Unwinding with Fiber and Fabrics. We'll see you soon.